G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for another episode of Space Survival. Alright, so in this episode I basically want to continue where I left off in the last episode, and that is to complete this base. Well, obviously I'm not going to complete the entire thing in one episode, but what I have done since I've been gone, it sounds like that song, is I've decided that I want to make a line in between these other two lines, and I think that more kind of lines up with the face of the asteroid, if that makes sense. So yeah, I didn't really want to bore you guys with that, so yeah, I just kind of did that off camera. So this is going to be where our starting point is. So what I'm going to do to start off with is go ahead and we'll place a block here which is about in the middle. I mean, like people said, it doesn't really matter too much. I think I even said it doesn't really matter, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to do things a little bit more complicated than most people do.
Critical.
So, alright, let's get rid of all these blocks and then we can make a legit start on this thing. Alright, so I've ground away the old blocks. Now we can start putting down our actual... what would I call it? It's not really a control tower because it's not a tower, but you guys kind of understand what I mean, like some sort of, you know, control operation center, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I want to make it about 14 blocks wide from the center point. Alright, so let's go 14 blocks. Right, that's 14 blocks, and we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Man, when I'm building things like this, I would really love to have mirror mode. And 14. Okay, so, now, how tall do I want to make this thing? Let's go for 7 blocks in total, so that's 6 including this one that we've already placed down. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run the blocks all the way to the other side and go back down again. Let's see, almost there, I think. It's a lot quicker doing it. Oh, no, I think we're way off. Actually, I think I'll go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just got to make these meet up. Now, obviously, having a square like that is pretty boring. So I want to kind of change it up a little bit. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to make it so that it kind of tapers on, like, so it goes like that. So I'm going to grind away some of these blocks. And I don't really know where to start for this one, but we'll kind of start there and see how we go. So put one of these down, spin it over, do the same thing again, put it like that, and then we'll do the exact same thing again here. And then we'll probably go like this. Yep, and then put a block down there. Hang on. I need to place a block here, so probably one of these. I don't know if I really like that. You know what? I think what I'll do is I'm going to get rid of this part and I'm going to make it... okay, so it's too hard to explain, so I'm just going to do it. Alright, let's get rid of... I think maybe this block. So we'll put an extra block there. Then grab... Wait, hang on. I must have pressed the wrong key. I burnt my hand last night, and I'm on some pretty good painkillers, so my brain is not functioning as fast as it normally does. And it doesn't function very fast as it is. So yeah, it's kind of a struggle at the minute. Okay, let me put that there. Right, that's more like it. So I'm thinking something like that. And then if we go and do the same at the top, so how many blocks? That's 2 blocks this way. I was able to figure that one out pretty quickly. And 2 blocks this way, is it? Is that really what it is? Yeah, okay. And let's do the same on this side. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I think that looks a lot better than that. So I will do the exact same thing on the other side, and then we have the start of this build. Actually, you know what though? This is looking a little bit big for a control tower. So maybe I make this like the center hangar, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a hangar in the center for my smaller ships. So ships like the Mammoth and the Avalanche, I believe it's called. Yeah, Avalanche. In fact, I want to grab the Avalanche and I just want to disconnect it and move it over and see if it's even going to fit in that hangar. Alright, let's move her over and see if she'll fit. I kind of suspect that it's going to be too big for this hangar. If it is going to be a hangar. It will kind of fit, but yeah, not really that well. Oh, it is actually not too bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I make it one block taller? I am really tempted to do so. I don't know. Okay, so I will just park this thing here. I can actually go ahead and turn the engines off because, yeah, we're in space and it's not going to go anywhere, which is fantastic. Alright, let me do the same on the other side and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, there we go. So that's done. I think honestly, you know, I'm pretty happy with the size of it, the tallness. I don't know if I really want to make it any taller because, you know, it is pretty much only for small grid ships. So yeah, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I would like to, though, possibly pop it out of the asteroid just a little bit more. So I might put an additional line of blocks all the way around in front to kind of pop it out a little bit more. Yeah, and then I have the enormously fun task of placing all of these blocks down, and that, my friends, is really going to suck. But it is what it is, so let's get started. Okay, so I have the start of the hangar done. The only thing I need to do now is kind of weld everything up and then kind of like drill this stuff out. So I think what I'm going to do is probably build one of my previous blueprints to drill this thing out. So probably, what's it called? I think it's called the Atom 5. Yeah, this one here. So probably going to use this thing here. Yeah, we'll use the Mark III though with the DLC blocks to drill this out. Just because it's like, it doesn't have as big a drill face as what this thing does, and I think it would just be a lot easier to use a ship of that size to kind of drill this stuff out. Now obviously, the further I get in, the more blocks I'm going to have to add in, but yeah, that's kind of just the way it's got to be. So I think what I'll do though is initially, I'm going to try and drill this stuff out by hand, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want to ruin this transition. Like, I want to make sure that the voxels here kind of, yeah, intersect with the blocks the way that they are now. So if I drill too close, I think what might happen is you'll see like little pitting and bits and pieces like that. I want this thing to kind of like emerge naturally from the asteroid, if that kind of makes sense. So, alright, I'm just going to quickly drill out some little bits here and there, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, so I've drilled out the edges. So as you can see, like we're kind of we're past where the blocks kind of meet the asteroid. So from this point, it really doesn't matter if we kind of drill past, like too deep, because you know, once we're inside the asteroid, we're not going to have any exposed voxels on the outside. It's so hard to explain, but yeah, as you can see, there's this nice smooth transition on this side. And then we have our tunnel on this side. So yeah, I think overall it's working out pretty good. And if we go over to this side, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So yeah, it all looks pretty good. So now, one thing I was thinking about is, I don't know, like, it kind of looks a little bit boring, it just being very flat here. So I think there is a way that we can dress this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 blocks here. So let's go ahead and extend this out by like 2 blocks, and we'll probably go about 3 blocks in. Yeah, we'll go about that. Let's add in our 2 blocks, and then let's fill in the blocks here, which will take me a minute. Okay, so I've got all my blocks added. So the plan is from here to basically add in some blocks that kind of taper inwards. Give this thing a little bit more of an interesting shape than what it has now. I don't know if this is going to work out though. I might have to make it a little bit shorter than what I had planned, but we'll see how we go. So let me go like that, and we have a nice little flat piece there. And yeah, basically it will look something like that. So we've got, it kind of goes out on the edges like a little bit further. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the same thing for here as well. So how many blocks? So I think it's this block here. Then we go for this one, and then this one, and then this one. And yeah, looks pretty sweet. Okay, so let's do the same on the other side. And then I think after that, I might think about kind of like my control tower and where that's going to live and the kind of proportions of that. Okay, so let's get this other side done. Okay, cool. And there we go. Now we have our blocks added. And yeah, honestly, I think that has a much better shape than what it would otherwise. Maybe, I don't know, maybe instead we might go for some half blocks here at the front. I'm not sure. Maybe it tapers in a little bit too much, but yeah, the thing I'm trying to the thing I'm attempting to do here is try not to make it flat and boring. Everything that's flat and square in this game is boring, and that is my biggest fear in this game, is something looking boring. I know it's not practical, I know I spend a lot of time on making things look good, but honestly, I love it. That is the portion of this game that I absolutely love. And yeah, I think that actually looks pretty cool. Maybe I could even taper it in here as well. So, alright, let's get rid of these blocks here. Get rid of these. And then we shall grab some of these 2x1 bases. we will spin them around like this, spin them around again, and put in a half block here. It's not much, but again, just gives it that little bit more shape. Yeah, it doesn't really have any basis in reality, I suppose. Like, it doesn't serve any function, but it's just there to make it look pretty. So now, yeah, I think I want to start work on the control tower. So I think what I'll do is I'll go up, like, I don't know, maybe like 15 blocks or something like that. We'll see how we go. So let's just go up, I don't know, where's the center point? That is the center point there. Okay, let's go up from here. So how many blocks did I say? I said I was going to go like 15 blocks. So that's 1, 2, and 15. Okay, so now I'm going to run a bunch of blocks all the way back here. And this is basically going to be where the control tower sits. As I said, it's not going to be like, you know, kind of like a proper control tower. In fact, you know, I might make it a little bit lower. Let's maybe grind this down by about, I don't know, 2 blocks. So that's 13 blocks. Yeah, I like odd numbers when I play this game, because odd numbers means you can do something in the middle, in between 2 sets of blocks, if that makes sense. Okay, so now how wide do I want to make this thing? Alright, let's go for maybe like 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go one more, 6. And we'll do the same on the other side. So 6 blocks like that. Oh, wait, I lost count. 6 blocks, there we go. Okay, and then from here we will go up, I don't know, maybe we'll go 5 blocks, so including that block, that's like another 4, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, run our blocks all the way to the other side, and the story is going to be much the same, you know. I'm going to taper this thing, very similar to how I've done the hangar itself, but yeah, we'll just kind of... let's get some more steel plates. Unfortunately, we are going to use a lot of steel plates building this whole setup. But so far, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. I don't know about you guys, but I am. Right, okay, so we got our blocks. Let me just double check that this is all even. Yep, it's even. Okay, so we've got 6 blocks either side. Alright, now, let's try and make this look a little bit prettier by kind of tapering it. So let's get rid of maybe that many blocks, and let's see what happens when we put in these blocks. So I'm going to go for this, maybe this as well. We're going to have to spin this around and probably go for that, and then that block there. Spin it around again and go like that. Okay, so that was... I drilled out 2 blocks, so let's get rid of these. I think that's where it begins. Yep, that's where it begins. Okay, let's do the same on this side. I'm really not digging it. It looks too narrow here. It doesn't look nice and kind of rounded like it does on the hangar. So I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of... And you know what? Where are the drones, man? Why are there no drones attacking me anymore? Oh, I'm disappointed. Alright, I'm gonna have to really suss out some sort of NPC mod that... Yeah, well, obviously an MES encounter. But yeah, I'm gonna have to use modular encounter spawner to get some decent, like, kind of attacks happening, so that it's actually, how would I say it? It's kind of worth, yeah, me building stuff, because I'm constantly having to repair stuff, if that makes sense. Man, my brain is all over the shop today. Really, really is. Alright, let's add another block here, put in one of these, put in another one of these, put in a regular square block, and then grab one of these. Like that. Oh, not like that. Like that. Thank you. Right. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's much better. It looks much more in line with that. And perhaps we can do something similar where we've tapered out the outer edge. Yeah, and we can do something like that. Alright, so let's do the other side then. Okay, and there we go. So we have the start of our control tower. Yeah, it's really hard to see. I need some more lights. Maybe what I can do is we can grab the avalanche and move it upwards a little. Oh. Have to turn the engines on first before it's actually going to move, don't I? Okay, let's point the lights at this thing towards here. So now we have some actual light to work with. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, let's turn the engines off again. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're talking. Alright, so I have a little bit of light to work with. Now, all we have to do is extrude this shape back into the mountain and asteroid, and yeah. After that point, I think what I'm going to do is start building a mining ship, or one of those mining ships that I showed you guys before, the Atom 5, and then also a welding ship, because obviously we're going to need to weld this stuff up. Now, I do have an ion welding ship that I created many moons ago, so yeah, we're going to make use of that. And yeah, I'll make sure I leave a link in the video description for all the ships that I've used in this game. Okay, fantastic. So we have our little, I guess you could call it control tower kind of cut out. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, kind of drill it out a little bit. So just to get the starting point, and then after that we can use the mining ship to do so. So yeah, it basically, if I just follow this line here, then I shouldn't go past the block, if that kind of makes sense. And it should work out just fine. I just got to be careful when I get to about, yeah, so as you can see, it's only kind of drilling down halfway through these blocks here. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, hopefully you guys can see it and understand what I'm actually talking about. Alright, and there we go. So I've cut a little bit of it out, so from there we should be able to use the mining ship without any fear of actually, yeah, so as you can see, I can see this portion here. So when I go to use my mining ship, this section here is not looking so good. Let's just carefully drill that out. There we go. Alright, now it's looking pretty good. Up here it's not looking that good though, so I might have to drill in a little bit further here. Yeah, that should do. Yep, there we go, and the walls are exposed. Let me just drill one little bit out there. Yep, there we go, perfect. Alright, and then if we have a look up here, that's not as deep in as what I would like. So I might just have to drill this part out a little bit more. So let's just drill this out. Yeah, there we go. Now when I bring the mining ship in, it should be pretty easy to drill without kind of damaging this outside wall, if that makes sense. As you can see, the transition here is very smooth. We don't have any really big... yeah, we don't have any holes or anything like that. So yeah, I think so far it's looking good. Alright, so... now at this point what I would like to do is, yeah, I want to get the little mining ship up and running, but I think maybe first I might do my ion welding ship. Alright, okay, so let's get started with this build. So I think I'm going to use this area as kind of a temporary printer. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to get rid of these two Gatling guns. So we'll get rid of those. I'm not sure where the ammo went for that, but we'll pick it up in a second. There we go, there's one. Alright, let's grab this ammo. And I probably don't have the inventory space to grab this one.
Full.
Nah, that's fine. Alright, let's dump all of that into the cargo system. Alright, so I've put all the ammunition back into the cargo system, but I've left everything else on me, if that makes sense. So what we'll do is, I think, maybe I'll go... it seems like I don't have interior plate. Really? I thought Gatling turrets had interior plates. Maybe not. Maybe they only have, like, construction components. Ah, that's alright. Alright, so let's put this conveyor junction here. And then on top of that, we'll need to place... Actually, I think we're going to have to go back a little bit. Well, let's do that. That's about as far back as I can go, really. Alright, then I'll put some pistons here. So I'm going to put one... Well, pistons. Just one piston, I think, should do us. So let's place that one piston there. And then, on top of that, I'm going to place in 3 welders. Alright, so 1, 2, and then 3. And that should be enough to build the ship that I want. And yeah, it's a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. Alright, I'm going to weld up this piston and then fully extend it. And then, yeah, see how we go with that. Alright, cool. So while I was away, I decided to get all these welders up and running as well. Alright, now let's fully extend this piston. So I should just be able to reverse it. Velocity. Let's go for positive, like... I'll send it all the way out. There we go. And then I'll just set it to 0. Actually, maybe we'll go 0.1 meters per second. Ah! Why did you change? Why? Okay, now let's change that back to 0.1 and left click this time. Okay, cool. There we go. So, that's basically where my blueprint needs to start. So, from this point, I think what I'll do is just chuck a random block here. What? I don't have any steel plates. Now I've got some steel plates. Alright, so there, we'll place another block. I think on top of that, I'm going to place my rotor. So, let's grab our rotor. Place one there. Let's get rid of the large head and add a small head. So what do we want? Add small head. There we go. Now let's exit out of that, and then on top of that we are going to place a whole bunch of blocks. Something like that. I'll try and get it in the middle as much as I can. Yeah, I think that's about the middle. Alright, let's place down our projector. I'm gonna make sure I get this orientated correctly. So, yeah, that's the top, that's the front. So I shall orientate it like that. And alright, let's get all this stuff welded up, including the rotor, and the rotor head, I guess, rotor parts. Yeah, and then let's get all that welded up. Cool. Alright, so that's welded up. Alright, now let's load the blueprint into this projector here. I don't think I can do it through this menu. No, I can't. Alright, I'm going to have to put a button panel here, I think. Alright, so let's see if we can do that. Not one of those. I want... Yeah, one of those. That's what I want. Let's orientate it the right way up, even though it doesn't really matter. Oh, so lacking in the materials today. Right, there we go. Okay, so now that's... I believe that's the only projector on the grid, although I could be wrong. Okay, so it's going to be this one, because it's the small one. As you can see, it uses less power as well, so that's how I can tell as well. Alright, let's find our ion weld ship. So we've got the Mark II. Alright, let's get that on the projection. Now, which way is it orientated? Alright. I'm going to go away and orientate this thing properly, and then we can kind of go from there. Alright, there we go. So I have it pretty well aligned. I think that's going to be good. Now... if this moves all the way back, let's just reverse this piston and see what happens. So I'm going to... velocity. Let's go all the way back. So I just want to see where the tips of the welders end, like if it's actually going to work properly. Yep. Okay, cool. So we have enough motion or range in the piston, so now we just reverse it again, and then we can finally start getting this words are hard today. Then we can finally get this thing welded up. Well, I kind of realized I need to make sure that I have enough components to actually build the ship. So yeah, we're going to have to make sure that we have enough stuff. There are a few blocks here that aren't going to get built, but I think we should be okay. There's like 2 blocks here which aren't going to get built. I suppose what I could do is get rid of these 2 blocks here, but I don't really want to. So just to make sure, I'm going to weld this block up here. Yeah, cool. Alright, so we're all good. Okay, now let's go and manufacture a whole bunch of components for this build. And yeah, I think I've got platinum. I hope I've got platinum. Alright, well it seems like the only thing we're kind of lacking in is, yeah, steel plates. And what else? I think we were kind of lacking in battery or power cells. Actually, no, we've got plenty of power cells. And we are lacking a little bit in construction components, so I'm going to build another 2,000 of those. Once all that's built, I think we should have enough to get this thing done, or at least I hope we do. And then, yeah, one thing I would like to know, though, is... do I have any magnesium left? Yeah, I've got heaps of magnesium ore, so I think I'm going to put that at the front of the refinery queue, because... we are lacking in magnesium, but we have plenty of uranium. So let's just have a look at how much uranium I have. So yeah, I've got, what, 890 ingots of uranium, and there's probably a lot more back at base as well. What is that, 38.6? Have I actually refined all of my uranium? Yeah, it looks like I have. And that uranium there will last forever as well. Okay, so... let's wait for this stuff to be built, and then finally we can get this printing done. Alright, and we are done. Well, I guess we're mostly done. There is still a few blocks that have been missed and need to be... Man, this cockpit mod looks... Whoa! Just got to be careful about those welders. Alright, maybe I should shut these down. Alright, there we go. Now it's a little bit safer. Yeah, as I was saying, man, this cockpit mod with this little bit here in front, it just looks awesome. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, as I was saying, there are a few blocks that got missed, but that's fine. We should be able to do those by hand. No, first I need to do that. And then I believe the ones on the other side need to be done. Oh, we need to do these too. Is there any other blocks that are incomplete? I thought there was some up the front. No, they've been done. Alright, let's do these. That's strange. I wonder why it didn't get that one. Okay. Now, let's have a look in the projector and just see if there are any blocks that are kind of incomplete. So, let's have a look at our projector, which is here. So we've got 2 armor blocks remaining, which I think is fine because that's the 2 armor blocks that are kind of embedded into this design here. So we should be able to... yeah, that should be fine. What I think I'll do is I'm going to attach this thing there. Then I'm going to grind away this block here and that block there. And then get these 2 blocks welded up. And that's everything. Okay, so now when I jump into the cockpit of this thing... let's look for incomplete. So incomplete. Looks like we've got the 2 small reactors which are incomplete, but I don't even know where they are inside this ship. I've honestly forgotten. And I think the reason why they're not done is possibly because... are they in there? No. Where did I put them? Well, I found them. Looks like they're kind of directly behind the cockpit. Underneath this thruster here. That's weird. I'm going to have to grind the thruster away. Now, I believe what we need is some thruster or reactor components. I'm not sure if I have any gravel to be able to build those. So let's try and put that to production. Do we have the materials to build them? Let's just check. Well, everything kind of got built. Yep, no, we've got reactor components. There we go. Have to press the withdraw button about 100 times, but eventually we get there and we get the components that we need. There's reactor 1, and there is reactor 2. I'm pretty sure they're hooked up to the cargo system as well, so that should be fine. Now, let's turn our projector back on again. Oh no, that's right. It's basically lost the projection. Alright, I'm going to have to put the projection back in so I can re-weld up these thrusters. Alright, there we go. I reloaded the blueprint in, so let's weld up this sci-fi iron thruster. This one on this side as well. Then we'll weld that up and weld that up. Okay, now I can confirm that everything is now complete. So, we can free it from its mooring, and because we're in space, I don't need to worry about it dropping off. And there we go. Fantastic. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's turn on our thrusters. Let's go up. And I might change my view here. Yeah, we'll get a little bit closer. Alright. So let's go. Whoa! Yeah, she's a bit twitchy. But it needs to be that way because when it's full of steel plates, it is not really that maneuverable. I would actually like to change this design maybe a little bit and like kind of stagger the thrusters a tiny bit. Wait, let's put some lights on because I can't see much of anything. Right, let's get onto this connector. Not really flush, but close enough. Wait, where is my connector on the hotbar? That's strange. I must have never put it on there. Alright, now it's on the hotbar. Alright, let's lock it down. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want this thing to charge. Let's just check the batteries on this thing. I don't expect them to be, yeah, very well charged. Oh, fully recharged in 7 minutes. Okay, cool. Well, I think that would give me plenty of time to get the other ship built. So the next ship that I want to get built is the Atom 5. So let me put in another... So I might put my control panel here this time. But what I will do is I'm going to put another block there, another block there, so it's in the center again. Then we'll grab a control panel and chuck one. Ah! Why will you not let me place it? Come on, give me the small grid one. Wait. There we go. Thank you. Right, weld that up. What? Oh, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now let's load in our projection. Okay, so I got my blueprint loaded. It's looking pretty good. I think I might need to move it forward just a tad. It looks like it's actually perfectly lined up. Yeah, I think it's because, well, I think the reason why this is perfectly lined up with the same settings as the other ion weld ship is because I built this ship, and then after that I built this ship based upon that ship. But this is actually like, you know, I'd say like the Mark II or Mark III or Mark IV or something like that. I've redesigned it a couple of times, but essentially the blueprint is based upon this blueprint here from way back in the day. Alright, let's move this forward just a touch. I think if we go forward 2 blocks we should be fine. So forward offset, we'll go 1, 2. I'm not sure if that means it's going to be touching the welders. No, I think that should be good. It looks like I've got to move it to the left a little bit. Okay, so let's do that. So horizontal offset needs to be probably -1. Or we'll go... Wait. Yeah, we'll go that way. So we'll go 2 blocks. Now I think we're in the middle, because the middle of the connector lines up with this block, which is in the middle of this block. So now we should be good to go. So the welder should line up with the middle of that drill, and it does. Fantastic. Alright, so let's get this thing welded up. Alright, well there we go. So it's mostly done. What I need to do is, for some reason, I cannot add these windows to my hotbar or to the build planner, which is strange. That's alright. I have to add them manually. Alright, cool. So that's the 2 windows done. Oh, looks like this is not done. There is a small conveyor that's not done, and I need probably a few of those. Actually, let's go small conveyor. Let's add those to the hotbar. Yep, there we go. Right, there we go. So that's all connected now. And if it's green on this side, that means that it's got continuity to the next conveyor port, if that kind of makes sense. Oh, we're missing a light. Let's sort that out. What else are we missing? Alright, let's maybe have a look at the projector. Well, it's blue, so it means there are blocks that need to be done. So let's just see which ones they are. So we've got a window 1x1 flat ×2 and 3 armor blocks. Now where might those windows be? Oh, of course. That's right, I had window blocks there. Okay, alright, let's get those done then. Oh, looks like I've got the components on me to do them. Alright, there we go. So that's those done. Now I need 3 armor blocks, which honestly are probably these blocks here. So maybe let's grab a block, put one here, put one there to attach it. Let's grind away that block and that block again. Let's get these 2 done. So that's 2 of the blocks. Now there is still 1 armor block somewhere around here that is incomplete. I don't know where that is. Where might that be? Yeah, you know what? I honestly just have no clue where this block is. Oh, there it is. Ha! I must have flown past that about 20 times. Ooh, and this is incomplete as well. Sneaky, sneaky. Is the block behind that incomplete? No, it's not. Alright, I'm going to have to put in 1 manually. Wait. Alright, let's set up the projection once again. Right, there we go. Let's get this block done. Okay, that should be everything complete. Like I said before, because it's green, it should be working. That's green, so that's all good. I think we are all good. Okay, let's jump into the cockpit here. Yeah, we got green there as well, so that's all good. Now, what did I want to check? Yes, let's have a look and see. Again, the small reactors are incomplete. Alright, let's reveal them on the HUD, find out where they are, and then we can kind of get them finished up. I think they're somewhere in the back, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they're behind the cockpit like they are in the other ship. Yes, they are. So we're going to have to grind away this block, and this block, and this block. Whoops. Yep, they're in the exact same spot. And you can see what I mean, like the similarities between this ship and the welding ship. And both of them being based on the same design. Alright, let's load up the blueprint once again. Okay, so apparently I've got all the components I need on hand. Let's test that theory. Let's get these reactors done. Get the sci-fi ion thruster done next. Reactor, ion thruster, and 2 steel blocks. And now the projector should be green, which means we are now complete. Fantastic. Okay, let's grind this block away, release it from its prison. Do I need to get rid of that block there? No, I don't think I do. I think it is actually released now. Or is it? Nah, surely it's released. I don't think I need to grind that away, or do I? Hang on, let's try and move this thing. Alright, let's put... Well, thruster's already on. Let's try and go up. Yep, we are released. Okay, let's go back a tiny bit. Change our view. Let's go back a little bit. Now, I'm going to take all of these little reactors off the HUD because, yeah, my HUD is dirty enough as it is. Alright, cool. So, I think I'm going to round out the episode there, guys. I think we've definitely made a fairly decent amount of progress. I made a decent chunk of progress on the base. And then also we have built these 2 ships that are going to help us actually build said base. So the next episode is going to be rather time-lapse heavy, so hopefully you guys are excited for that. I know I am going to be enjoying myself in that episode. So yeah, I hope to see you in that episode. Anyway guys, if you did like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.